Hello and welcome. You're listening to the Dungeon Speak podcast, a D&D campaign based on Greek mythology. My name is Todd, and I will be the DM of this adventure. Now the players will say hello themselves.
It's your boy, Dylan. I play Blouch, the Human Ranger.
Hello. My name is Brittany, and I will be playing Laurel, the half-elf paladin.
Hello, my name is Becca, and I'll be playing Mavari, the tiefling sorcerer.
My name is James, and I will be playing the Great Sage Tiorani.
Hello, my name is Miranda.
So I was looking, and Halloween often stays on my mind, even going into Christmas. And a lot of times it's because when I'm preparing, I'm looking at monsters. And I love drawing inspiration from movies, especially really good movies. And one of the monsters that always comes to mind, and I say monster, but to me, he's a sweetheart and a hero, the Predator. His counterpart, the Xenomorph, is fucking awesome, which I know a couple people like. But the Predator, like every time he comes into a scene, no matter what movie it is, he just has the fucking atmosphere and the presence to just stop everything. And so he is one of my top, if not my top. But the one that I love very much, and I drew inspiration from recently for D&D, was The Thing. Not all of y'all probably know what he is. Becca, have you ever seen the movie The Thing?
No.
Yeah, figured. So I'm gonna tell you a little bit about him. It's a guy, a little fella. He came from another planet. He exists on a microscopic level and has no true form, but he can take the shape of anything. And if he has like any of its liquid, like saliva or something like that, he can do it even faster. And he gets better quality copy. It copies everything, including defects, disease, disabilities. He copies thought patterns, memories, and everything. Also, he takes all the memories from whatever he copies into his new form. So, for instance, if he copied and created the form from an alien life form that could fly in space, then it has that knowledge and the ability to actually build its own ship, which it does in, I believe, the newer one, 2011, second one that came out, which I don't think a lot of people saw, but it's okay. He is practically unkillable because he is on such a small level. Like, think about like Lego pieces, like millions and millions of Lego pieces coming together to form something. So you would have to actually destroy each and every little piece of it to actually do that. And you're talking about microscopic level. I mean, that's fucking hard. And it can break away and create other parts of itself, which it actually does in the original movie to trick viewers, which is pretty fucking awesome. So they actually did some math. Somebody did on a website. I don't know which website it is. I'm sorry. But it would be able to consume, infest, and take over the entire, or every life form on our entire planet in about 3 years. And it's also over 100,000 years old. So that's pretty cool. But that's one that I gush over, especially recently. So anybody got some monsters they like or love or draw inspiration from?
The angels from Evangelion.
Those things are creepy.
I fucking love them, though. They're so cool.
They're so weird.
They destroyed the entire fucking planet in like a week. That's great. Name a monster that has succeeded that well.
Okay, you have me there.
Exactly.
I don't even know what that is.
It's an anime.
I'm a big fan of liches and the whole undead racial kind of template.
Yeah, they're not portrayed in movies or TV very well. Like,
no, that's kind of hard to make moving bones look as frightening as the concept.
Oh, hey, you have the Horned King from the Black Cauldron. There's your Lich. I mean, he's technically, like, not a Lich.
Yeah, but he's also, like,
Lich.
the best fucking Disney villain.
They do pretty well in anime, but...
If anybody has watched Grimm, I really like the creatures.
I love Grimm.
Yay! Somebody else who likes it.
I fucking love Grimm.
Grimm is so good. I loved it. I wish they did more. Have you read the comics at all? Curiosity?
No, and they rushed the last season way too quickly, but it was still a stellar ending.
So Grimm has a bunch of these anamorphic people that are called Wesson, and there's like Hexen beasts and things like that. Basically, they take humanoid features and make them animalistic, and I personally like it because then they add into like Egyptian mythology and Greek mythology and things like that too, but still keeping it grim fairy tales at the same time.
I think we might be the only two who saw that.
I saw it. I just,
Well, how dare you? Another one I really like is the Xenomorph, going back to Alien. I just like it so much. It's so creepy crawly. It's like, ugh. But then, yeah, I don't know how else to describe it, but
She is
one of the
beautiful
top
lady.
favorites. She is such a beautiful, she is a queen. Like, get it, girl.
Exactly.
And you can't go wrong with Godzilla, like any kaiju for that matter. I consider Godzilla one of the top tier monsters.
Everybody's name is some really good ones. I mean, like Todd took mine. I love The Thing. It's such a good movie monster.
really? I didn't think anybody else liked him.
Oh yeah, no, I love that movie. I don't like scary movies at all. But The Thing, I don't mind creature features, and I consider The Thing to be more of a creature feature. No, I freaking love The Thing. I love the concept. You know, just sort of playing on your paranoia of you don't know who is actually the thing.
Mhm.
How unkillable it is, like, you know, the absolutely awful eldritch nightmare that it could essentially, like, you know, turn people into. It's chef's kiss. It's astounding.
I think shapeshifters in general are terrifying in that nature.
Yes, most definitely. Any sort of shapeshifter. Another reason why I like werewolves a lot, because, like, you know, if you play a werewolf in a way where, like, you know, oh, we don't know who's the werewolf, it could be like a really fun mystery to, like, you know, try to solve, and then you gotta, when you figure out who it is, you gotta fight a fucking werewolf. So
I will say this isn't very scary or anything, but if you ever saw the TV show Animorphs, I think they took. I didn't ask your fucking opinion, lady. I think they did a good job with taking something that's scary and making it into a fun idea. Because shapeshifter in almost every sense is considered like a monster, a terrorizing thing, like horror or creature feature. But like the Animorphs, they made it fun. Like, oh, I'm gonna turn into a bird and fucking fly around. Whee!
apparently, if you read the movie, it's practically a horror.
Oh, the books?
I did read the
Yeah.
books before I saw the TV show, but that's because CGI wasn't too great back then.
Books are fucking wild.
Good
Oh, man.
times.
Yeah, like, apparently, like I said, like I never read them, but apparently, like, you know, apparently it's really crazy nerdy.
Yes, it was very nerdy. Luckily, we don't have those around here.
No.
Not on this
I don't
podcast.
know. What
The first movie monster that I thought about when you guys started talking about this was the fish man from Shape of Water. I love that movie, and I just think that you guys are all naming like villains, and I was like, man, he wasn't the villain, he was just captured and trying to get home. And then I thought about Ludo from The Labyrinth with David Bowie.
Yeah,
I love David Bowie. Does
I love
be
I love
rubbing
Didymus.
balls
He
over
reminds me of
himself.
my family dog Ziggy Star. Just imagine Didymus painted black, and that's pretty much that's Ziggy Star.
Yeah, I was thinking about The Labyrinth because I was like, oh, there's Ludo, and you just said his name and I forgot.
Didymus.
But then there's the little fucking worm thing at the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
The Labyrinth had such good, like, monsters.
It did. It had really good. I love good monster creature design. It's a like I said, well, chef's kiss. I absolutely love good creature design. Fantastic.
Yeah, it's hard to get a really good one, but every now and then somebody hits it.
Yeah, no, most definitely. What's all
I would
this
like
then?
to see the Predators more on TV. Like, I want to see a new Predator movie or something. Like, there's just so much that they haven't done with it.
That's true, but they're just as likely to fuck it up.
I'm
That
okay
is
with
also
that.
true.
As long as the attempt's there, because then somebody wants to go behind them and make it better, which, more power to you. Do it.
I think it could be a good live action, but I think it'd be really good if it was animated. Because then it could add in, like, more details without having to worry about bad CGI.
I don't know. There's quite a number of anime with really bad CGI.
Oh,
I
that's
mean,
just
yeah.
fucking sad.
That's
Well,
I feel like
production
that's more
values and trying to get it done quickly as possible, it happens, but
I feel like that's more the norm than anything. I mean, sometimes
it's
you get
getting there.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's taken a while for anime to catch up on like the 3D make a 3D look good.
They're doing good with it though. Anime's
Oh
taking
yeah,
a
no,
lot of
they are. Like I
strides.
said, it took them a while, but they're getting the hang of it.
Little baby steps.
Exactly. It's especially impressive when they make their 3D look so much like 2D. It's insane. I absolutely love that style.
Well, I think it's time to go see our own monsters.
My name is Darren, and you are listening to the Dungeon Speak podcast.
From Mavari's point of view, we are in a room. Warm, a crackling fire in the fireplace, portraits on the wall around her. It is a rather large room with a few bits of comfort and lavish furnishings. One of the biggest pieces of furniture is a 4-post canvas bed that looks like no expense was spared in its craftsmanship or comfort. As Mavari looks around the room, a cold sense goes over her, and her eyes drift towards the floor. Laying on the floor is a corpse surrounded by blood. It is a red-skinned tiefling with long red horns slicked back in a style of his thick and black hair. He wears a red tailcoat with gold trimmings, a black scarf, black trousers, and a gold inlaid dagger on his side. Mavari slowly looks down at her hand. She has been here before, and she knows what to expect. But to her surprise, she sees a blood-covered bow in her hands, the same bow Phoebe recently gave her. There are no arrows, as if she beat him to death with the bow of her lifelong friend. Whispers start circling the room. Traitor, weak, devil, worthless, waste of life. Here, as you hear these whispers and the room around you comes into focus, you see Mavari standing there holding the bloody bow and the corpse on the floor in front of her. What would either of you like to do?
She
Try to
deserved it.
figure out what room I'm in? I remember being in my room. Whose room is this?
I think it's mine.
Who's the dead guy?
My
I
brother.
go to look. Ah, I don't recognize him. I think we're sharing a dream. Did you kill your brother at some point? God knows I wanted to kill a few of mine once or twice, but that's really difficult.
I did, but it wasn't like this.
Is this what your room looks like? Or are you in the past sense? Hey, hon. Are you okay?
No.
Tyr, looking at Mavari, trying to comfort her in whatever crazy situation she's in right now with blood all over her hands and realizing that this is her brother that she killed. What would you like to use? What skill would you like to use to try to make her feel better in this current situation that you both find yourselves in?
I think I will go with an investigation and do it, I'm certain, badly.
No, make an
Or-
investigation check and try to
Actually-
find...
Let's go with insight. Because I actually have skill in that.
All right, yeah. So, looking around the room, looking at the portraits, trying to find what would make her feel best by kind of insightfully looking around and at her and what she seems to treasure. Go ahead and roll insight.
Oh, and the rolls just keep coming. I got a whole 8.
An 8. Who do I want to do this to? Brittany, would you please roll a 1d4?
Can do.
Thank you.
3.
3. All right. Mavari, you take 3 force damage as your head is racked with pain. and your chest just hurts as you lean over a little bit in pain. Thunder can be heard, distant yelling, explosions of fire. Mavari, you see nothing, but you hear everything. You hear cries of help, explosions of buildings, caravans, and the clanging of weapons and armor as men are sent flying. Thunder mixes in with the fire, and also, too soft to hear, you can hear your father ordering soldiers to pursue. Mavari, you start seeing the orange glow of fire. You see it as it is spreading, covering wagons, buildings, and creatures. I say creatures because it is a mix of different types of humanoids. There are demons, humans, devils, and other mixes in the area. To your left you see a burning building, and you can see tieflings on the second floor crying for help. You start to turn, your body heavy and slow, but then you hear neighing of a horse to your right. And when you turn to your right, there is a horse with a dead person in plate armor on its back, but the person's saddle and bridle are on fire. You turn back to the building, you can hear the cries of help, but there are no visible people anymore. You turn back to the horse, and the sounds of the horse fade as you see the same person laying on the ground with dying fires over the body. They seem unmoving. You turn back to the building. No more cries or screams, just a dying fire. You stand there, unable to move, and look around. On your right, you see a dead soldier in armor. To your left is a wooden building, 2 stories high, maybe 50 by 50, and the wood has been made black with fire and charred. All around you are dead soldiers. You stand there helpless, and you see one arm raise weakly. As you find the strength to move to the soldier, you hear him crying under the plate armor. He says he wants to see his kids. He wants to protect his wife. He loves his family dearly. Please help. He begs you for aid. You touch him. Why? You have no spells. You look in your pack for a medicine kit, and it is broken and burned. It is useless. You hold his hand as his breath becomes shallow and quick. He tells you that he wants to see home again. He wants you to tell him that he's going to be okay. He wants you to tell his wife, Evelyn, that he loves her. Please. Please help. Then his breath becomes shallower and shallower until it stops. You look at his throat. It is unmoving. You look at his chest. It is unmoving. Mavari, you and Tyr here out just in the open. Pointless. You can't help anyone, not even yourself. Tyr, you suddenly find yourself standing behind Mavari, who is on her knees, holding the hand of a dead soldier in plate mail. What do you say?
Put my hand on his shoulder, try to comfort her. And I think we need to move.
I just want to help them.
And you have done that many times over. You have saved more lives than I know what to do with. You'll get through this one too. I know I'm a bit odd, but I'm a good judge of character.
I doubt that.
I don't. Come on. As he helps her to stand. Or
Tyr.
just kind of holds her.
Roll a persuasion check to try to get her to go.
Alrighty. Well, this is going to be stellar. 4. My rolls are stellar
4?
today.
Jesus. Dylan, will you please roll a 1d4 for me?
A 1d4. Oh boy.
Yeah.
That's a 1.
Alright. Mavari takes 1 point of force damage, as he is unable to talk her down from the situation that she is in currently. But we're not done, so it's okay. As you sit there crying, Mavari, everything seems to fade away. Mavari, the smell is the first thing you notice. It is a vile smell like sweat, excrement, blood, and melted flesh. Standing just a few feet from a closed and thick wooden door, in a room with only a few candles lighting it, Mavari stands with bloodied hands. Along the wall in front of her are different types of tools, storage cases, and implements. There are a few different types of racks, not the racks you'd use for storing tools, weapons, or food, but the type of racks you store people in and lock it. There are a few different sized cages that are locked, Iron Maidens, and stuff like that force people into standing positions. Along the wall, hanging, are different types of tools. There's a belt that could be used to lock around a human man. The belt has spikes set into it so that if someone were to get aroused, then they would be pierced and bleed out. There's an iron fork that has a strap attached to it, with these 4 sharp prongs deeply stuck into the flesh under the chin and above the sternum. It prevents all movement of the head. The victim could only whisper whatever the interrogator wished to know. There are several different sized cuffs with blades attached to them. They were meant to be locked around the feet and wrists. Any struggling or large amount of movement would cause the victim to bleed out. There are also many scourges in variety, with 2, 3, and even 8 chains, sometimes longer, sometimes shorter, or laden with more stars, or supplemented by long razor-sharp steel bands that are used for scourging the human body. Obviously, a body thus treated is destroyed, unfleshed to the bones, and the bones shatter. Many more implements, devices, chests, and storage compartments for tools and bodies litter the room. However, directly in front of Mavari is a young woman in a chair. Her head hangs down to her chest. Her legs, arm, and chest are bound to the chair. Blood surrounds her on the floor and still drips from her body. Mavari smiles at what she has done. She deserved this. She was pathetic. She insulted Mavari. Mavari looks down at her hands, flexes her fingers, and watches the blood drip off of them. Then Mavari hears movement from the chair and looks up. The young woman, with short, slightly curled blonde hair, hazel eyes, with the look of longing, pale skin, pointy ears about 6 inches long, and a bloody white tunic over brown leather pants, starts to speak to Mavari. As she speaks, blood drips down her neck that is sliced open. Some of her jaw hangs off, and she says in a raspy voice, "You could have been more. You could have been better. It is too bad you were worthless, pointless, and wasted your abilities. You think you have won? Your loss has just begun." Her eyes flare open, bleeding and pupilless, and then shut and her head drops down, hanging on her chest. Blouts. You see Mavari standing there with bloodied hands and a table of implements beside her. You are not sure if this is the Mavari you know, but you have no weapons, and she does. How do you react?
Oh, this has been a long time coming. I deserve this, most likely.
She deserved this.
Oh, so I'm not the one getting stabbed. Okay. He's just gonna look over what's going on this table. Or what, this rack that you said.
There are racks around the room. There are empty. In front of Mavari is a person bound to a chair with 3 leather straps, legs, arms, and chest.
What are they?
It looks like a young woman. She looks elven with the long, pointy ears, probably. But her head is hanging down and she's covered in blood, so unless you walk over there and start touching her, it's hard to tell much more.
Well, that's definitely not what he's gonna do. So what happened? Where is this?
She was my friend, and she turned against me. She used me to better her life.
I'm not sure how your cultures are, but you know, depending on how far she went, this might be deserved. Are you okay?
Mavari will stare down at the weapon in her hand, and she'll stab it into the dead body again.
Yeah, you just hear this kind of sickening sucking sound as blood starts like pulsing out of the wound.
He will slightly move closer. He's definitely not going to put his hands on her because that's weird, and I'm pretty sure she'd stab him for that. So he's just like, I don't think that you're going to get any more satisfaction from stabbing the body.
How do you know?
Usually they don't make any more sounds other than squelching. But why don't we go over what happened?
I found out that she was sleeping with my brother, feeding him information about me. I trusted her. She was my closest friend, and she used me.
What kind of information? I don't need the specifics, but what specifically?
Things he could use against me, things he could say to upset me, things he could try to kill me with, or torture me, something.
What? Why would your brother do that?
Because he wants what I want. To win the game.
The game?
Yes.
What game?
Father will only pick one of us. They had a head start. And yet somehow, they still see me as a threat.
Pick one of you for...
Mavari will turn and look up at Blouts dead in the eye. To be the heir.
Oh,
Only one of us can get the power.
wait, you guys compete? I thought that was just the oldest person gets that. Oh, that's different.
There's 6 of us. My father decided that wouldn't it be more fun if we competed? It was a tradition in my family. Though this is the first time we've started offing each other. He cut out my uncle's tongue so that he could be the heir. They were twins. The man she slept with to gain information and give him information killed his twin. And I killed one of my other siblings who tried to kill me. So, I mean, like, at this point, I should just finish off the rest, right?
I mean, from the sounds, probably. They'll probably try to kill you. Self-defense and all that.
All I had to do was start with Nessa.
I use the wrong name. Blouts. What skill are you trying to use here?
Well,
I knew you didn't have one in mind, probably, but
I mean, he's just like going through the whole thing. So,
pick one.
I'd probably say like insight, just because he's not good at it because he's not proficient. But probably insight just to see how far this is going. Like,
roll an insight check. Trying to gauge what happened to her and get information while also trying to help.
17.
A 17. Would you do it again, please?
Another insight?
Mm-hmm.
All right. 23, natural 20.
Alrighty. James, would you roll a 1d4?
Stellar.
Mavari, you take 2 points of force damage, as he is unable to really connect with the Mavari in this memory. But as that fades away, Mavari squints as the sun is bright overhead, and she smiles slightly to herself as the warm water soothes her skin and muscles like a natural massage. She closes her eyes, feeling herself being comforted by the rays of the sun, and then she feels a hand yank at her ankle, and she goes into the water a little. Not too much, just about half of her face, and then she bobs back up. Mavari's eyes quickly open and she looks down, but it's hard to see because the water's dark from all of a sudden, almost black. Mavari starts to swim towards the grassy shore to her right, but as she starts to move towards the shore, it seems to fade away into a giant hand. She quickly starts backing away as the giant hand moves towards her with speed. She braces herself, but when it hits her, it is like a small hand grabbing her shoulder. She looks at it in disgust and jerks her shoulder to try to shake it off. But as she jerks away, the hand comes partly out of the water, and there's a wrist, and then an arm. Mavari shrieks loudly as a tiefling's head comes out of the water. The owner of the hand has no eyes, no tongue, and his nose has been cut off. He has the brand of a soldier of her father's army. Mavari pulls her other hand up to push him away, but something has her by the wrist. She looks at her other hand to see the body of a tiefling, only part way out of the water. But from the neck up, his head is torn off. Not cut off, but torn off. Mavari can see broken bones, torn and flayed skin, and she can see the blood pouring from out of the wound. That is when she realizes it. The water's not dark. The water's blood. The sun turns into a dark red as Mavari feels a pull at her ankle again. She can't swim. She can't keep herself afloat. She's being pulled under. The dead are trying to drown her. Mavari, looking up at the red sun, realizes something. This is how she dies. Laurel, you see Mavari screaming muffled screams between being dragged into the blood. You are on the grassy shore about 40 feet away, standing there in just pants and a tunic. No weapons, no magic. There is a small rowboat next to you with 2 oars in it, and no weapons. Is there anything you would like to do?
You said she's out in the middle of this water?
Yeah, she's about 40 feet away from the shore. You can
Okay.
see on either side of her, there's creatures dragging her under.
Alrighty. I quickly push the rope out and I just start power rowing to get to her.
Yeah, you're strong, so you get there in almost no time.
And then I reach and start to like pull to drag her onto the boat with me.
All right, so you were pulling against 3 creatures. Do you want to kind of find any way to try to do this a different way, or did you want to do strength on strength?
How real do I feel? Well, since I'm like, I'm not even really thinking. I'm just trying to like, just pull her out. I guess I'll sort of like grab onto her and like with one arm and try to like, push these things down with my other, like trying to beat them back.
Okay, so go ahead and make a strength check, and I'm going to do it with disadvantage because they're not getting a grip on her because you're pushing her up and she's pretty slick.
Okay, no problem. Strength check, not a saving throw.
Yes.
Okay, just want to double check to make sure.
I did terrible, so you should be all right. I said should.
13.
Okay, I got an 8.
All right.
All right. So these 3 creatures don't seem to manage the strength of Laurel. You pull her up into the boat, and you see them grasping at the boat. But as they get towards you, they seem to stop trying to grab at her. You don't know if it's because, you bring the light, or because you're a paladin, or just because they're like, this bitch is strong. But either way, they seem to kind of back off once you have her in the boat. But you can see Mavari is in the boat, covered with blood. Her clothes are just soaked and matted to her. And she looks, I don't know. How well did Mavari handle that?
Not well. You've never seen real fear in Mavari's eyes, but she's staring at her hands, and they're shaking. Her eyes are wide. And she can't talk. She's just sitting there shaking in her tiny little frame.
I take you like by the hands and I say, Mavari, look at me. It's okay. You're safe. I'm with you now. Mavari.
Where are we?
Looking around. I don't know, but we need to get you back to shore and we need to get you some help. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Just stay away from the edges of the boat. Stay close to me. And I'm gonna start rowing my way back to the back to shore.
All right. What skill would you relate to trying to calm Mavari?
Let's do. Well, there is no calm person check. Let's do. I guess the only thing I think of is persuasion.
All right.
Charisma, which is just persuasion.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you have skill?
Yes.
Oh. Actually, don't you have like a +7 or some shit?
I got a +8 to my persuasion.
Oh.
Got a +12 to my freaking saving throw.
Is this y'all have? Why y'all have demon and dragon friends?
7.
Yeah. So, Mavari, you are curled up on that boat, and there was something about the way that Laurel just stood over you, helping you, making you feel better, giving you a comforting aura, maybe? That makes you feel much better in this situation. And just looking at her rowing, you feel very comforted. And for the first time, you take no force damage.
Somebody's got me, at least.
Yeah. Mavari, are you going to sit? Mavari, you find yourself in a forest. You see trees, sun shining through, and you can hear birds chirping. You also see a hooded figure whose face is obscured by darkness and shadow. He's wearing black plate armor that looks melted together over black robes, and there is a constant black mist flowing from over him to the ground. As you look him over, you see he is gesturing behind you. There is a stump there perfectly and smoothly cut. As you hesitantly take a seat, you turn back and there is a wooden table in front of you. He reaches over the table, his black and gauntleted hand vaporing off into black mist. He reaches for a tea kettle and 2 cups. As he pours a cup for himself, you can smell cinnamon in the air. He turns his head towards you, his face a moving shadow. Care for some tea?
Sure. And I'll motion and go sit next to him.
All right. He pours you a steaming cup of tea in a light blue teacup with a saucer. Sugar?
Yes, please.
He drops some sugar cubes in there, and he hands you the teacup. And then he turns to Blouts. Would you please hand me the soul fruit? Blouts, you look around. Behind you is the same type of stump that the man and Mavari are sitting on, and you see a third cup, empty and beside the kettle. The man nods to your right as you look around. You turn and see a small wooden table next to you with bits of fruit on a silver platter. It smells sweet and seems neatly decorated with yellow and perfectly round cookies. You smell a hint of butter coming off the cookies.
Which foot is that?
He points towards the plate.
Oh. He will pass the plate over.
Thank you. As he takes the plate and he starts to set on the table in front of him, he takes one of the cookies and puts it towards his hooded face. And as he puts the cookie in the moving shadow, and you hear the sound of soft crunch, he starts to speak to Mavari. It is strange how life moves us. I was born lame with a deformed leg and should have been killed at birth. Then I moved up, rose above my peers in education and performance. I became a lucky lover to a man who conquered a fleet and ended a war. Then I moved up. I became a conqueror, general, and now a commander of an army of endless undead employed eternally by Hades. And somehow you, the daughter of a man like myself, are out in the world unknown to you and fighting demons alone with lesser mortals. How do you feel about where you have ended up? And he kind of picks up the little teacup and you hear a sip.
I don't know. I'm just trying to help Phoebe.
Who is that?
My friend. She's been with me for so long.
He kind of nods his head over to Blouts. Who is this?
That's
hi.
Blouts.
Hello there. He holds out his black gauntleted hand. You can see the shadow coming off of it.
Hello.
My name...
Is he shaking for, reaching for a handshake?
Yeah, he was reaching for a head shake.
Okay.
Bro, you're kind of rude, man. No.
Blouts would shake it. Is he in his armor or is he just in, his sleeping clothes?
You're in your sleeping clothes.
Okay. He would shake the hand.
Alright. Oddly enough, your hand goes through his, but he takes his hand back like you just shook hands.
Okay, son. This is the third weirdest thing I've happened to me.
He starts pouring a cup of tea for you, and then he looks back at Mavari. My name is A.G. Silos. I am decently old, but I have never met a creature like you before. And he looks towards Blas. Or you. What are we doing here?
I was hoping you could answer that. I don't know where I am.
You see his pinky go up as he takes a sip. I don't know where this is, but it is very pretty. Why are you, a half-devil creature, fighting demons alongside... And he kind of nods towards Blouts. You know.
They're not all that bad. She'll look at Blouts and she'll look back at the cup in her hand. And then she'll take a sip real fast. I'm here knowing what I am. Like I said, I'm helping Phoebe. I have nothing else in this world. Nothing else to worry about or even think about. So, if it's...
He turns and looks towards Blouts. That doesn't seem to be true. Otherwise he wouldn't be here.
Oh, no, they found me in the Fairwild. I'm a stray.
One of my best companions I ever had was not a woman or a friend. It was a dog. It was a dog I found after a war. Many people died, but the stray dog came up to me. We were friends for over a decade. I will never forget him. His name was Fluffy, and he was my friend or my companion. Blouts, just because you're stray doesn't mean that Mavari doesn't consider you a valued companion.
Oh, I love dogs. Dogs are so soft.
Yes. Mavari,
Yes?
what is he doing here?
Oh, I don't know. We found him and he kind of followed us.
Jazz, they
Is it
haven't been
good?
able to get rid of me.
Does he seem like a good person?
I would assume so. No. From what I have heard of Blouts, he seems like a good person.
Do you think he would help you with Phoebe?
He already is. He kind of started helping us without us even asking him. Like I said, he kind of followed us.
He holds up a little bowl with sugar cubes in it towards you, Blouts. And as he does, he says, "You know, if it wasn't for the sacrifice of one of her friends, I would have already killed you."
Oh?
Sugar cube?
Oh, thank you very much. Would you like something in return? Is this a fake contract again?
No.
I don't
thank
want
you.
to end up... Okay. He picks up a sugar cube and eats it.
Oh. Well, yes. I don't know what the Fae is. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's for the better.
Mavari, I'm sorry what you have been through, and I hope this man can assist you. Is there anything you would like to tell me?
She'll lean over and like pick up one of the little fruits. Is it already cut, or is it just the simple little
It
fruit?
is a whole fruit.
Mavari will put like her fingers in it and she'll like rip it open, and Blouts will hear like a few. It almost sounds like it's screaming as she opens it, and she'll like peel it off and like hand a piece to Blouts.
This is not the first time I've had screaming fruit. What does it taste like before I eat this?
It's really good. It was my favorite food back home.
Oh, interesting.
And if Blouts were to eat it, it's very sour at first, and then it becomes very sweet.
Ah, perfect. Sour's like the best flavor. He ate warheads as a kid. He's fine.
You know
This
what?
is a weird fruit.
This is a happy moment. I think we're not going to do any checks this time. Mavari's just going to enjoy this moment.
I can see why this was your favorite. It's a very interesting fruit.
Yeah, there was a lot of them similar to it, but for some reason this one was always my favorite. I like sweets.
Jazz, you seem to eat a lot more fruits. Not a lot of meat.
Not a fan.
That's fair. My brother isn't either. I think that's a sorcerer thing.
I don't think so.
Mavari, the sun seems to get in your eyes as you look around at Blouts and see him telling you about his brother, and you guys are just kind of laughing and smiling. And the man in black takes another sip with his pinky up. And as you're blinded by the sun for a moment, you hear light giggling. Your eyes adjust to the bright sun as off in the distance you see the castle walls of your home and the lake it resides by. You hear a light, "Mommy," and turn around confused. A small child, a little under 4 feet tall, with purple skin that has a gray tint to it, is running towards you. Mavari, looking confused but with a familiar feeling at this small tiefling with tiny stubs of horns at the top of her head and with wispy smoke hair that looks like... Mavari lets the child run into her legs and hug her waist as Mavari looks up. Unable to find the words, Prince Waylon, tall and handsome with a gray skin tone and bright blue eyes that shines against his black hair that trails off into smoke, is walking towards her smiling. He looks like himself, but carries himself more relaxed than he used to. He has a golden band around his finger that shines. Mavari looks down at the little girl, puts her hand on the child's shoulder, and sees a ring. A ring with a diamond heart infused into gold that is designed to overlap and spell forever. Mavari slowly mouths the words to herself, then looks the child in the eyes that is attached to her legs and whispers,
Sadira.
She then kneels down and gives her a hug. Mavari closes her eyes and feels this child hug her deeply. She feels her child hug her. When she opens her eyes again, Prince Waylon has his hand on her shoulder. My darling Mavari, we are ready to eat when you are, he says, smiling down at her. Mavari looks past him to see a silk blanket laid out in the grass underneath a tree, and there are blankets and an urn near it. So Prince Waylon walks with you hand in hand over towards the lunch on the blanket, and he opens up the basket, and he'll have meats and breads in there, and he'll play with Sadira as you eat. Is there anything you want to do while you guys have lunch, or do you just want to enjoy the moment?
Mavari will like hold the child and like give her little like head kisses and like squish her cheeks and just have the biggest smile on her face.
Yeah, she plays with you, hugs you, pokes you, tells you some of the words she's been practicing. You see Prince Waylon raise his eyebrow every now and then about some of the words she's been practicing. He'll laugh. We don't need another sorceress. Your mother is powerful enough. And he'll smile. Beautiful enough, too. And you guys have a great little lunch. Eat, drink, be happy. Play in the grass. He'll run with her, play with her. And then after lunch, you guys will make your way back to the castle. Just being yourselves, being happy. Upon re-entering the castle, Laurel, you see Prince Waylon look at you. A bottle of honey wine and 2 glasses. My chambers, 10 minutes. And he winks as he walks away. Mavari, Sadira pulls at you as she tries to run you towards her chambers. She knows it's bedtime, but she loves it when you put her in bed.
I'll take the child to her room.
Alright. On the way, she's like, Mommy, will you read me a story? Or do you know any? Do you have any stories?
I can tell you stories.
Thanks, Mom. Laurel, you knock on Prince Waylon's chamber doors, and you see him answer the door. He is shirtless with underbreeches on. Then behind him, you see 2 younger women who you have never seen before, but they look like servant girls. They are giggling and breaking food apart and putting it into a bowl. You see one of them has her dress pulled over her shoulder and has a breast exposed. As you are looking, you hear Prince Waylon. Surely you can join us if you wish, but for now, please put the wine by the bed. I plan to drink plenty of it and use it on them. He hands you a gold coin. I love my wife dearly, but she doesn't need to be burdened with these images. He winks and pushes you out of the door. You hear a lock behind you. You are in a stone hallway littered with wooden doors and expensive candelabras. The noise of the young women fade. What do you do as you are out there in the hallway by yourself?
That's a very good question.
I actually see Laurel doing that, just standing there like,
Baiting upon ripping the door off and beating this man senseless, or going to find my buddy. I sort of like, nod, sort of like, flick the coin, my finger, catch it, and then I'm gonna go find Mavari.
At least you got paid. Alright, so you wander around for a little bit. You know what? Make a check to see if you can find her.
Okay.
This is a pretty big castle.
Water
How
around
many
this-
rooms are in it, Mavari? Like
Get lost in this dream.
30?
It's a lot.
Perception. Just get lost in this dream. This is what I'm doing for the entire time. Perception. +2. Okay.
Would you say +2?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, this could take a while.
I'm not, Oh, hi, baby. 17?
Alright. So you're wandering around, and then you notice that adult-themed things like candelabras turn into smaller candlesticks that are on shorter tables. You see, like, a portrait on the wall with little paints, like a mustache on Prince Waylon and the mother untouched, Mavari. You see different things that seem to clue you in that you're getting to the child side of the chambers. So you wander around for a little bit until eventually you see a stream of toys that lead you to the culprit and owner of the toys. And you will see servants actually out there picking them up. But, wow, she does more damage than there are servants. So you eventually hear the giggling and thanks as you kind of peek inside of a decently lit chamber to see, oh, such good lavishings. Like, if this was your room as a child, damn, you would have had a good childhood. You're just like, I could have stayed in here forever. Like, I ain't no need to go outside. Shit. But you see Mavari leaning over this child, like moving hair out of her face and finishing up with the story.
Mavari,
Laurel, so nice to see you today.
it's nice to see you too. Okay, just sort of like look at her child for a moment.
You see her smiling up at you, like both hands on the blanket towards her neck. She waves a little bit.
Hi there, sweetheart. Can I borrow your mother for a moment?
Okay, but don't bring her back.
Oh, I will.
I'll be right back. What's up?
Mavari, can we just down the hall, just a small walk?
Okay.
You, I never knew this about you. How come you never told me?
About what?
Never mind. I apologize. I guess it's very nice to see you happy, and I'm happy that you're happy.
You're sounding crazy right now.
But I have
You've been here before.
sort of like, this sort of sad knowing on my face. And I put my hand on your shoulder. And I look at you. I say, Mavari, I consider you a very, very good friend of mine. And I would never do anything that came in the way of your happiness. But I cannot tell a lie, Mavari. I feel like you should go check on your husband.
My husband?
Yes? The man you were with.
Oh, right. Mavari will look down at her hand again and see the ring, and then my husband. And Mavari will walk off towards the direction of what she thinks is her room.
Yes, you automatically know exactly where to go. You know where your room is. It's fine. You've been here millions of times. Walked this hall constantly, every day.
I'll follow her.
Yeah, you see the thick wooden door, but it's locked.
So Mavari will go to open it, and she can't because it's locked.
Mm-hmm.
Are you sure this is the room?
Am I sure this is the room?
Make a perception check.
Okay, all right. I don't know anything about this castle. For all I know, I let her in the completely different wing.
Look around. Wait.
Yeah, wait, hold on. No, 20.
Yep. This is the room.
Yep. This is it.
Mavari will knock on the door. Waylon!
You hear this loud, kind of cheerful, "One moment, I'm coming." Laurel, you know what Mavari is about to see. What do you want to tell her before that door is opened?
Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
Mavari, again, I would never do anything to get in the way of your happiness. But you're a very good friend of mine. And this is going to hurt now, but I promise things will get better.
You're scaring me a little bit.
You hear the door unlatch, and you hear a slow creaking as it opens. Laurel, would you please make a persuasion check?
Ooh. Okay. 21.
Okay. With Laurel behind you, again, you feel very comforted by her presence as this door opens and you are enveloped by darkness. And then Mavari feels this sting on her back. Mavari, you take 1 point of slashing damage. You hear a gruff female's voice. Your father wants you to be prepared. Do it now. You look around and you see a grassy field, a woman in armor behind you, holding a long black whip, and many tables, tools, and body dummies of different materials around you. crack. You feel the sting of a whip against you as you try to get your bearings straight, and you take 1 point of slashing damage again. Do it now. There is another crack of the whip, and you take another point of damage. You must learn to twin your spell and assistance. Blouts. You stand in padded armor beside a target dummy. You see Mavari struggling to comprehend the instructions. What check would you like to do to remember what the instructor wanted her to do?
Oh boy, fucking remembering shit, that's always an intelligence check. Let's
You got
see.
this.
History might be bad one. Ah, fuck. I mean, unless you want insight. What would you prefer, Todd? What do you want Blouts to roll to make him fail better?
You go ahead and roll. I'm gonna let you pick whatever you want.
I'm
You
gonna
can pick
try
insight,
insight.
sure.
22!
Alright. You remember the instructor just a second ago, because this is good news for you in that padding. Wanted her to twin spell guidance on you and the dummy.
Okay, so
Yeah, you see her confused. What would you like to say to her?
I've done this 1,000 times. I've seen you send bolts of energy to 2 different enemies. 2 allies is nothing. You are powerful. I believe in you.
So, Mavari, do you want to guiding bolt him after what he just said?
No, I'm gonna twin spell guidance onto him and the dummy.
He was talking about bolts of it, and I'm sitting here like, bro, that's the wrong spell.
I got what he said.
Alright, so you guidance him and the target dummy. And she says, good, now continue and prove your father's intuition correct. She points at Blouts. Blouts, use a different skill to try to recall what the next step was.
A different skill. Alright, let's see. What am I best at? Survival. Yeah, totally. Let's argue survival. That would not be okay.
Roll it if you want.
I mean,
Roll
I don't know
whatever
how.
check.
I don't know how well that would work. I mean, unless you want me to do athletics, I'll just tackle her.
Yeah, roll
I mean,
it
if you're
and I'll give you a
allowing-
result.
If you're allowing survival, then I'd better at that. But this is probably where I will roll badly. Oh no, 18.
18. Here's the good news. Survival works because you get on your toes a little bit because you know what's coming. You know how to duck and dodge because shit's about to get real as the instructor told her to guiding bolt you.
Oh,
How do you want to relay that to Mavari?
Well, first you did the guidance. Now is it's guided. You do the other one that has the same word. And give me what's been coming this whole time. Hit me.
Mavari rolled a hit.
Okay.
What level do you want to cast it at? 5?
Kill me.
You
Come
thought
on,
about
do
it already.
I was gonna ask you. I was like, wait, what level do I cast it at? No, I'm gonna cast it at level 1.
Okay. And Blouts is dead when he wakes up. No.
It wouldn't be the first time.
18.
Alright, so Blouts, you go back a little bit as this guiding bolt hits you in just his padded armor. Alright, so
How
she
much
says...
do I take?
Oh, I don't know.
Am I taking damage or is this not real?
Nah, not really.
Okay.
You're protected.
Yeah. It's the
I mean,
padding.
it's
It's good
deserved.
shit.
It's anti-damage padding, great.
Y'all hear her again. With that skill out of the way, it is time to fix what you have done. Blouse, go ahead and use one more unused skill to ask her to assist you.
You know what? Let's do it, history.
Mm-hmm.
Let's do it, history. Natural 1!
Oh.
For a 2.
James, I'm bringing you back in. Roll a d4 for me.
2.
Alright. Mavari takes 2 points of force damage as her mind is racked with pain. You hear her, Mavari, as your eyes are closed. Useless. Pointless. Powerful? No. A liar. A manipulator. You will never amount to anything. Mavari, you find yourself in darkness. It almost feels strange because you have seen in dull gray colors for so long that unless you are in light, then you should be able to see just fine. However, at the moment, you are unable to. You are lying down with your arms at your side, and your back is on hard wood. You feel a wall of wood against your shoulder to your right, and you feel something squishy, slightly moist, and a strong odor coming from next to you. You try to strain to see, but you see nothing. As you breathe deeply, what would you like to do?
I'm gonna move my hands around the box to try to get out.
Alright. You feel slight slits of where the panels of wood are, but they feel very tight together, like something was used in between them to maybe close any seals. The wood feels thick, but you're not sure how thick. You want to try to punch your way out? Seems like a good idea.
I'm so capable of punching my way out.
Yeah, roll up a strength check. Come on,
Yeah,
Mavari.
That's not the plan. She's gonna. Is there a lot of wiggle room? Can she move?
Not really. You are ass to grass against this wood with your shoulder and whatever's next to you. You hear it move every now and then, but it has a strong smell that is not good.
Oh yeah. Can I move my arms up to smack against the top of it to try to scream for help?
There's about 10 inches of room you can
Okay.
move. So you can't get a lot of force behind it, but you can get some.
Yeah, so she's gonna just start slamming her little hands against it and calling for help.
All right. You do that for a little bit. Then kind of, I'm not going to say you give up, but after a while, you kind of start to relax again. Your breath becomes a little heavier, and it occurs to you that the air is limited. And then your eyes actually do start to see. They start to adjust. You are in some kind of wooden box. Next to you is a decaying corpse with its head tilted your way, and the mouth is hanging open. Where the eyes should be is a lone spider climbing out of the eye socket and back into its mouth. As you squirm and move around, you hear something. Laurel, you wake up in a wooden box with a slightly older looking Mavari laying next to you, but she's moving around a lot and seems a bit bonkers. What would you like to say?
Well, this is probably what I'm seeing if I were to open my eyes back home, huh? I look over to her. And I take her hand and I say, "It's okay. Just calm down. It's all right. The air is limited down here. You don't want to say too much."
How did we get here?
I look up at the I look up at the roof or whatever, the lid of this box. And I say, "I know how I got here. I'm curious as to how you got here, though. Do you want help?"
Yes.
Okay. And then I put my hands up against the lid, and I sort of dig my fingers and I start to push.
All right, make a strength check.
Okay? Strength check, strength check, strength check. Double check my modifier. Strength check. All right. 21.
21. All right. So you push against the wood and you hear it start cracking, and you get a little optimistic as you push, and then it gets a little cold as water starts filling the box, and you think you might have about 2 minutes before you and Mavari will be drowning.
I frown. I look at her, just nod at her, say, "Hold your breath," and then it's made out of wood, right?
Yeah.
Okay, then the water, the parts of the waters, I start to stick my fingers in, and then I try to essentially break the wood open to let the water in so we can get out.
Okay. As you do that, you see, and you have decent vision, you can see that the water seems to keep going as if maybe you're at the bottom of an ocean or something.
Oh.
You probably have a little bit over a minute left.
When the I look at her and I say, hold your breath. And because I know that the water, like, pouring in is probably pushing us down. So I wait for the box to fill up enough to be able to essentially take her and then force our way out.
All right. You have about 50 seconds, and then it's going to fill up. And then you're going to try to finish breaking it out to make enough room for you and her, and you want to try to swim to the surface of some kind?
Yep, breath hold. Let's do it.
All right. So I believe you can hold your breath for a minute equal to your Constitution modifier. I might be wrong. I'm going to look that up if y'all want to look at your Constitutions.
I got a 3. Mavari, I promise I'll get you to the surface. Don't die.
I have 1.
60 seconds. Let's go.
I'm sorry, it's
I
1
got this.
plus your Constitution modifier. Okay, so Mavari, you're at 2 minutes. All right,
Oh, wow,
so
4. That's impressive.
the box fills up as... Let's see athletics checks for swimming. Laurel, are you going... If you help her, that will put you at a disadvantage, but you think Mavari is not too athletic, so... I'm going to let you choose whether you want to help her or not. It will put you at a lower number, but she could roll low, so that's up to you.
Of course I'm going to help her.
All right, so roll with disadvantage. Mavari, roll with advantage. Athletics checks, please, as you try to swim to the surface.
Oh, okay. Well, that's a little disappointing. First roll was a natural 20 for 27. This roll is a dirty 20.
Oh, okay.
I got a 19.
Oh, that's very good. Okay, so you guys both make your way to a surface, and you guys are able to break the water, and you see all around you is air. You see no land, but, I mean, you're not drowning, so that's got to be good news, right?
I look around. And I'm like, damn it.
Yeah, no, that actually would have taken a lot out of you. And I'm not an expert on swimming from the bottom of oceans, but I would assume that you're slightly out of breath.
Oh
And,
yeah, no, we're lucky that we don't have the freaking bends.
yeah,
Decompression sickness.
that would suck a lot. But so far, so good. So
Hennessy,
that's
don't
good
worry
news.
about it.
Yeah. So, Mavari, as you're out of breath and panting heavily, you're leaning with your hands on your knees. You're not sure where you are. All you know is that you need to run. You hear your name called, distant and distorted. You look up in fear and start running again. The grass is very low, only a couple of inches. It is very dark, no moonlight. The tops of the trees look to be blotting out the sky. The trees are perfect rows, lines, and squared. The trees are light brown, very tall, and have no bark or branches, just leaves at the very top. As you run, your legs are heavy, tired, and your lungs are burning as you hear, Mavari, in a deep and gruff tone. The voice is getting closer despite your running. You run further, for what feels like 30 minutes at least. As you pass a tree, you turn around and see a white-haired, pale-skinned elf with pointy ears. Minerva. Suddenly a curved blade with a black edge and infernal symbols on it cut into the tree through her neck. You watch her eyes close slowly. You see her body fall, and her head rests on the blade as a large red hand releases it. Mavari, I am tired of you failing me. Father. Mavari turns and runs. She runs for a long time. Could be 20 minutes. Feels like hours. She needs a break and stops, leaning on a tree. She feels a soft and warm hand on hers that is on the tree. Mavari looks up to see a black-haired human woman with light skin, full lips, and dark red hair and brown eyes. She is wearing a white dress and a worried expression. She starts sobbing, seeing Mavari like this. Mavari, you must run. Mavari looks at her, a mix of emotions swelling through her. One word finally surfaces in her mind. Mom. The human woman pleads for Mavari to run. As Mavari stands, she sees a large, red, muscular arm cross the woman's chest. Then he grabs the side of her head and pulls his large red hand away from his arm. The woman's body jerks, and then there is a sound of bone snapping, and she falls to the forest floor, her body left twitching and her eyes still open, looking at Mavari. As the woman's eyes tear up, she mouths the word, run. Tyr. You see Mavari standing before a large and hulking red tiefling with sharp teeth, 2 horns curled back behind his ears, black hair, and a body covered in scars. You see Mavari staring at a woman on the ground. You see the woman mouth the word run. And you see on the tiefling's side a black curved sword starts forming out of nothing. He is reaching for the sword. What are you doing?
Mavari, I believe we need to awaken from this dream magic, which is what I believe to be the issue. If we can beat this thing, maybe you can get over what it is you're facing now. What do you think?
I can't beat him.
Why? He's no different than the Hydra. A fucking Hydra!
No, you don't understand.
We've killed a demi-deity. I mean, this thing is nothing. We can face this all day. Though we're kind of lacking a tank. But
No.
I might be able to find something around here to polymorph into something to tank the hits.
I have never been able to beat him in a fight, and I never will be.
Well, then call on us. Aren't we your support? Who is our companions? Who do we hold with? Seltra, Laurel, Blouts, and about twice that I had never met. If we beat this thing, I think we can get out of here. It's only a demon. Hold on a second, let me try banishment.
Not a demon.
He looks like one.
That's my father.
Oh well, there's a lot of demon in your ancestry. So, do we face him? Or do we run again?
I don't know.
Tyr, roll a persuasion check.
I rolled decent, 16.
Oh.
I don't have skill in it, so what do you want?
Alright. As you have Mavari questioning whether to run or fight, you see him reach for his sword on his side that materialized. He pulls it out of its sheath, and as you raise your spell book, because you don't have a weapon, so that's my dramatic way of saying it, he seems to evaporate into nothing. And you two are standing in this forest, as Tyr has finally not caused Mavari damaged.
Woo!
So, good job, Tyr.
One in a haystack.
Yeah, every now and then it happens. Blouts. Does a 29 hit?
A 29. Oh man, I don't think that quite hits. You rolled
Alright.
too high.
You take 21 points of slashing damage and 13 points of lightning damage. And you are going
21.
to find out what happens in real life after the dream. Okay. Does a 30 hit?
Yeah. How many?
Would you like to
said
use your
13?
wings? 21 points of slashing damage and 15 points of fire. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, lightning.
15 points of lightning. Okay.
And then on the next hit, you are hit with 17 points of slashing damage and 6 points of fire. Low roll. Oh, wait. There's a strength saving throw, but we'll skip it. All right. So after that, Mavari, it is your turn. You see Blout standing in front of this large winged red-skinned creature with horns. In one hand is a whip that is on fire, and in the other is a long sword with lightning crackling off of it. You see nothing around. You are in some kind of black and empty space, maybe a ton of some sort that is very, very large. You are standing next to Blouts. What would you like to do?
He's right next to me, so I'm going to heal him with Cure Wounds, because that was a lot of damage.
Yeah. Blouts, how you doing?
Ouch.
Alright, so go ahead and use your curing of wounds.
That's the first time I've been whipped.
I'm going to cast it at, let's do 3rd level, and hopefully it's good.
I believe in you.
I had a soft what behind me as I said that.
Oh, I rolled wrong. I'm nervous.
Don't worry, he'll be fine.
It's fine, I'm just gonna die.
Ah, not yet.
20
I mean,
points of
it's
healing.
Ooh, that's
a lot of
very
healing.
nice. Do I have anything on me?
Yeah, you have your normal stuff. You do not see Ginyel, though. Mavari, is there anything else you'd like to do with your turn?
Yeah, I would like to move.
You can't disengage. I will remind you of that.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna move. Being this close in combat's not good.
All right, so you go ahead and move away. He takes an attack of opportunity.
Yeah.
Let's go with the sword. I don't want to whip it good yet. All right, does a 23 hit?
Yeah.
Okay.
What's your AC?
18.
Dang. I just a few off. Get 2 more AC, we would have been great.
All right.
I don't know what you want from me. That's a lot for a spellcaster already.
Yeah, you take 28 points of slashing damage, and you take 16 points of lightning.
Oh, I'm down. That was enough.
All right. So she's down. Blouse, it is your turn. You see Mavari go to run away and just kind of fall to the ground as, well, he hits her really, really hard.
This thing that has been assaulting me.
Yeah, you want to use your bonus action to roll a knowledge check?
No, what does it look like? That's all I care about.
It is a large red creature. Let me go back. Large winged, red-skinned creature with horns. In one hand, it has a whip that is on fire. In the other hand, it has a longsword with lightning crackling off of it.
Okay. It's next to me.
It is right in front of you.
Awesome. Perfect. Do I have my sword, or so it's
You have-
everything I have?
All your gear minus Ginyo.
How dare you call him gear? All right. I guess it's time to smack a. I'm going to try bonus action Hunter's Mark on it. Does it work?
Is there any kind of save?
No, it goes off. He has a funny little Hunter's Mark.
You see this little dragon fluttering around his head.
Perfect. A little red dragon that nibbles at their eyeballs. Everything I needed. All right. Trying to step over so he can't get to the small tiefling woman. I'm going to start smacking this thing with my sword.
All right, go ahead. See what you got, little punk.
I have a lot, so let's see. Oh boy, that's a decent plus. Natural 20 for a 30.
Yeah, that'll hit.
All right, second attack. A 22.
Yeah, that'll hit. Yep.
All right, so it'd be 1d8 plus 1d8 because that's my hunter's mark plus that. So my. Do we roll one? Like we just doubled the dice, right, for crits?
No, roll a normal one and then add 8. The weapon damage solid.
Okay.
Like you rolled a max damage.
So that's actually going to be plus quite a bit because Hunter's Mark is active. So the first hit's going to be 36 points of damage, slashing, I guess, because Hunter's Mark is not defined.
Yeah, I think it's just your weapon damage. You said 36, right?
Yep.
Ouch.
All magical.
That's a palpable hit, sir.
And a number for the second one. Wow, these are some good damage rolls. Look at those 6s and those 8. That 8. 18 points of slashing damage once more.
So fighting demons and rolling lots of 6s. Makes sense?
Oh no, Blouch is the demon. He's gonna have horns.
Join us.
All right. And he's going to keep a defensive stance over Mavari because she's small and doesn't take a lot of damage apparently.
No, apparently not. But she has been hit a few times already, so. But you don't know about that. Well, some of it. All right, he's gonna swing at you because you hit him and it hurt. He doesn't like you. You actually did a lot of damage. Good job, sir. All right, Blouts. Ooh, does a 28 hit?
A 28, yeah.
All right. 31 points.
Can you not hit that much though?
Hold on, let me roll a disadvantage. That's a 30 to hit. I'm kidding.
I tried.
31 points of slashing damage, 15 points of lightning. With the whip, he rolls only a 19 to hit.
19 will miss.
All right. So that is
And
the
how
end of
much
his
lightning
turn.
How much lightning was that for the sword?
15.
15? Okay.
Yeah. All right, that's it for him. You're going to kill him. You're going to kill her inner demons. Hey.
I mean, if this is a literal one, I'll try.
Let's go.
All right. Shouting once again. Ignis, his sword's going to start to alight once more, because it can just do that. So I need all the damage dice here. Let's just keep adding them.
Yeah, I'll be honest, just to save you a bit of time.
Maybe to replace for next week.
Hi, Macy. He's immune to fire.
He's immune to fire?
Yeah.
Oh, well.
But it looks really pretty.
A super cool fire. All right. First attack. Ah, fuck. That's a 13.
Unfortunately, a 13 won't hit.
Followed by a 22.
That'll hit, though.
All right. I'm just not going to roll the fire because, you know what? Just activating everything's still cool, though.
I mean, that's intimidating. If it wasn't a big fiery dude, I'd give you a free intimidation roll. But, you know, he has fire, too. He's super ugly.
That's good. Oh, there's the poor damage. 10 points of slashing damage total.
You've actually still done a lot of damage, so don't scoff, sir. You've done well.
That'll be it for him.
All right. Mavari, death save, please.
I'm so good at these. 9.
You have one failed death save.
Woo.
Hopefully he doesn't turn on you after this. Bloutz does a 24 hit.
A 24? It will not. I'm going to use my wings, and my AC is 25.
Nice. Oh shit. Does a 34 hit?
Yes.
Alright,
I'm
this is the
missing a
shit
spell.
Alright, you take from the whip 16 points of slashing damage and 14 points of fire.
Alright, let me just make sure I got that right. Hold on. Alright, he is still up. He's not going down this fart.
How many hit points do you have? Jesus.
I have 15 left right now!
That's actually really good.
I have 92 fucking hit points, and I'm resistant to fire and lightning.
Well, I thought Laurel was the tank, but I might have been mistaken. This
She
was a
can't
good
cast
pick.
shield.
You might have actually, you might actually be able to take this dude out. So Mavari's still on the ground. It is your turn. You can use your action to dodge over her if you want instead of hitting him. Hey.
No. How about
Alright.
I'm going to use my bonus action this time for a 3rd level healing word
Oh.
on Mavari.
Nice.
Alright, so it's for 3rd level, it's 3d4 plus my spellcaster. Alright, so 3d4 plus 3.
Mm-hmm.
Which isn't going to be a lot because Blood's is not 10.
That's still a
Middle.
lot more than 0.
It's not your time, get up! And now he's going to keep smacking.
Alright, go ahead.
2 more swings, 17?
No, unfortunately, 17 doesn't hit his naked ass. His loincloth of armor protects him.
His loincloth of protection. His sweat beads of protection are giving him so much AC right now. And a 19 to hit.
A 19 will hit.
Should I use... Fuck that. I'm going to use my 1 inspiration to reroll the first attack.
You're the inspiration.
Oh, even worse. Alright, so still no hit. But hey, I tried.
Yes, sir. All right, Mavari, you are conscious. You have 10 hit points. Save the day.
14 points of slashing damage for the second hit.
Oh, yeah. Whoops. Thank you.
And that is Blood still standing a little whacked, but...
She's just gonna roll over, stand up. I can't move, but can the demon thing make a Constitution saving throw?
Oh, it most certainly can.
I bet he's gonna make it.
I bet he is too. Ooh. I'm kidding. He rolled a 23. What are you trying to do?
Blouts, if he looks at her, Mavari's eyes are gonna go completely black, and like black veins are gonna like come out of him, and her hand extends as a black aura comes from the bottom of his feet up the demon's body as she's casting blight.
Oh. That's not cool. Does he take half damage from this?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man.
Um.
You creeping on him. Girl.
Half of 46 damage, necrotic damage.
23?
Yeah, 23 necrotic damage.
Damn, he's not immune or resistant.
Whoop, whoop.
Deserved.
You found his one weakness. Alright. Minus.
Oh, sweet.
23.
I cast Finger of Death.
Ooh, good one. Alright, is there anything else you would like to do, Mavari? Do you want to try running again? That was fun. Alright. Well, we're going to do this instead then. Blouts. That sword's coming down at you with fire crackling off of it with a 29 to hit.
God damn it. Yeah.
I'm sorry. 20 points of slashing damage, 18 points of lightning.
Well, he's down.
Oof. Mavari. Does a 19 hit?
Yeah.
Okay. So, Mavari, you see this whip out at you, and you feel the sting of it and the fire on it. But as you start to go down, the creature disappears. Mid-swing, he just vanishes. Mavari has a chance to look around. And as she looks around, like, it's like a room that's being lit up as you go through with, like, automatic lights. She sees Seltra, blood-covered and laying over the broken pieces of LFD. She can see Niskita laying on her back, with her throat cut, a black obsidian-looking dagger on the ground next to her. And Mavari looks around a little bit more, and then she stops as she sees Phoebe with her head slumped and her body against a rock. Her clothes are covered in blood, and in her lap, as if holding a baby, is the decapitated head of Karis, her blue dragonborn companion. You see Tyr on the ground next to her. He has a sword in one hand and a book in the other. He's laying face down on the ground, but you can partly see his clothes are very burned and some melted flesh on his face. Laurel is laying on her back in her armor with a large pike sticking out from her chest. And Blouts, you see Mavari walking, although very injured. As you lay dying, you know your energies are too far for her to help you. You know you're going to die, and she looks like she's not too far from death's door herself. Is there anything you would like to do as you lay there dying?
How's my hair?
Of all the things to say.
Well, you might as well go out with a smile. That's a lot of blood. This is the times that I've almost died. But I guess this time will be permanent.
That would be nice, wouldn't it?
This would.
Mavari, as you sit by him, and you hear Blouts taking his last breaths, you hear this weird voice you've never heard before. And you feel like it's hard to breathe as this voice becomes more and more clear to you.
Hello? Hello? Oh, Colin! Yes, I got it this time! Hi, sorry, don't mean to interrupt, but I just need to make sure this isn't a kink or, do you need help? What's going on?
Mavari, you open your eyes as you hear this weird-ass voice, and you see Mordai, your brother, over you, both hands around your neck. You don't know how he got in here or how this is happening, but you can see his skin has that like charred rock infused into it. He has fire a little bit coming up his shoulders. You can see his yellow eyes, but he doesn't have that helmet on that he had before. He does have the brand on his chest of some kind that you actually never really figured out, I don't think. But he has melted face, and his face looks very scarred. As he is above you, choking the shit out of you, and you see this woman next to you, which she will describe herself as soon as her dog calms down.
He's calm.
Okay.
So you see a fairly slender, pale skin individual. She's got like crazy, wild brown hair that's kind of tied back. She's wearing kind of like a shimmery looking white Greek dress. And she's got golden gauntlets, and she's got these golden sandals on her, bright, big blue eyes, and she's just staring at you with a big-ass grin on her face, and she's all excited and bubbly.
Let's roll initiative.
Hee.
Oh, that's low.
I rolled a nat 1. That's so sad.
Did you really?
Yeah.
That's okay. He rolled a 3, so this is fun.
have a 4.
Mavari. Oh, well, that's balls. All right, Mavari got a 4. I don't want to say your character's name yet. Miranda, what'd you
Fine.
get?
I got a 15.
A 15, okay. And he got a number you don't know. All right, so Miranda, you're kind of fluttering near them, and you see this guy choking her, and you asked if it was a kink or a fetish, and she actually never responded. What would you like to do?
So still kind of standing here, waiting for you to say, like, thumbs up, thumbs down, help, yes? Otherwise, I can just, come back some other time.
Mavari talking... Oh.
She can't talk.
Yeah, it's
She,
a free action, so if you want to make some kind of noise, or we'll give you a free gesture or something.
She, her eyes will dart over to the person, and she doesn't know if this person's actually a friend or a foe, but she's gonna put a thumbs down. Because that's all she can do. She's dying.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
And
so
you
if I
have-
remember...
You have the hit points that he healed you at, so I believe you have 10 hit points.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, so you see this thumbs down, mystery lady.
All right. Well, Mystery Lady is gonna go running in, and with these brass knuckles, she's going to go for some punches to try to force him off of her. And so I'm gonna be swinging at
All right, let's see what you got.
18 for the first hit,
Hit.
19 for the second.
Yeah.
Okay. So we're gonna do 13 radiant damage. Oop. No, sorry, not radiant, bludgeon. I'm reading things at the same time as I'm doing this.
You're
And
right,
then-
he's not resistant to radiant.
Okay,
Shockingly.
4 radiant damage for the first hit,
Okay.
9 bludgeoning for the second hit, with 5 radiant.
Alrighty. And
How
Mavari...
hurt-
Oh, he does not look better. No.
Okay.
But I am going to do Constitution saving throws, kind of like concentrating on a spell, because if he can close her throat, she can't cast spells. So Mavari, as she does this, you do see she has brass knuckles, which I don't think you've ever seen, but they're like glowing gold. Like they're very like shiny and just wrapped around her fist in this like crazy thug way. But no, he manages to keep hold on her throat. So Mavari, it is your turn, but you are unable to speak unless you do something.
I'm looking to see if all my spells have verbal components, and they absolutely do. Oh, wait. No, that's not necessary. I can't use that anyway. Okay. Is he, standing over me while I'm laying in the bed?
He's not standing over you as much as he has one knee on one side of you and one knee on the other, and he is using all his weight to just bear down on your throat. Just choking the fucking life out of you.
Well, I have no weapons. I have literally nothing. So I'm gonna unarm attack him, and I'm gonna try to, poke his fucking eyeball.
Oh, sure.
Yeah. It's not great.
Poke him in the eye. You see this, grotesque, scarred face looking down at you with fucking hatred.
14.
I apologize if... Fuck. You know what? 14's not bad. Let me look. Yeah, okay. Unfortunately, a 14 will not hit.
Yeah, that's it. That's all I got. I can't do anything.
All right. So, seeing as you are hurt, he is going to release your throat and stop choking you. And because you look so close to death at this point, he's just going to try to... You know, we're not going to use the sword yet. He's going to try to punch your lights out. But now with a 13 to hit.
Wait, I'm not wearing armor.
That's true, but you have dex.
Oh,
So
yeah,
it's-
okay.
I think it's 10 plus your dex if you're naked.
Yeah, it's 13. My AC is 13.
Oh. I thought you had plus 40 your dex.
Plus 3.
Oh. Alright, then he hits. So you take 6 points of damage as he punches you.
I'm still up, but I am
And-
going to use my reaction unless he has more.
He has 2 more dex.
Oh, cool. Can I use my reaction first?
Yeah.
I want to cast Hellish Rebuke because he let go of my neck.
That's a shame. Is it fire?
No. My Hellish Rebuke is radiant damage.
Right.
That's a
Alright.
dexterity saving throw.
He's not really good at dex. He's a big guy. But he rolled a 21.
That passes, but he still takes half damage. Yep. 14 points of radiant damage.
Oh my god. Alright. So he takes 14 or you rolled 14?
I rolled... Oh, he takes 7.
Okay. So he's there. Alright, he's gonna try to punch you again. He just... One hand on your throat at this point, just kind of balancing himself because he's not really closing your throat off anymore. And then he just tries to deck you in the face one more time with a natural 1. Third attack, he tries again with a 15 to hit. So you're going to take another 6 points of damage.
Woo! I'm out.
So he uses his movement to climb out of the bed and reach and grab a sword that seems to light up on both sides, Darth Maul style, as you see this magma just form out of nothing on either side of this hilt, as he stands in front of you, ma'am. And as he stands in front of you, you can see the anger in his face, the burnt parts of his face where the mask used to be covering him. Now, you never saw him with this mask on, but the rest of the party and the rest of the people here have. But you just see anger in his eyes as he glares at you, not as a person, but an object in the way of what he wants to accomplish. And he is going to kill you next week.